The British royal family is like a public entertainment channel. Everyone knows about the drama that's been going on, but this time Princess Anne took things too far. We all know that she hates the people who are currently in power, so just when everyone was having a hard time, Princess Anne dropped another bomb: Queen Elizabeth II's secret will. This changed everything and made everyone lose their minds. It is true that Princess Anne was one of the closest trustees of Queen Elizabeth II. That person was Elizabeth, and the Queen Mother often went to her when she needed a confidante. Now, what was in the will that changed everything about the monarchy? It had specific instructions for one member of the royal family. Who is that person? And what did they do for Queen Elizabeth that made her remember them even after she died? Let's find out. We won't go on for too long, so we'll just tell you who it was. It was everyone's favorite, Princess Catherine. You may be wondering what was in Catherine's will and whether she was remembered for a good thing or something that made the Queen Mother sad. As everyone knows, Princess Catherine has been loved by everyone since she married Prince William and became a member of the royal family. In fact, King Charles III made her and Prince William the Prince and Princess of Wales. The thing is that she is the one that the public has remembered. While all of this was going on, what was Queen Elizabeth thinking as she watched her from the sidelines? Before we tell you what was in that will, we want to tell you that someone was very angry during the whole thing, and surprisingly it was Queen Camilla, who is the late Queen's successor. We've already told you in previous videos that the Queen has a personal problem with the younger generation of royals, so when someone tries to take the attention away from her, she just gets very angry. This time, when Princess Anne revealed this will at the royal coronation, many royals got angry, and most of them were senior members of the monarchy. You may be wondering if Camilla's on Catherine's side or if she's jealous, since there are equal chances of Catherine being praised or insulted in that will. Don't worry, we'll tell you that, and stay tuned until the end because the revelation will shock you. There were many qualified members of the monarchy who could have done a good job of carrying out this will. The answer is very simple. Queen Elizabeth knew that Anne was the only member of the royal family who didn't want to be in the spotlight. She was a very loyal member of the monarchy, and she had a close relationship with her mother. This all shows that she was the only natural choice for Queen Elizabeth and was chosen to carry the late Queen's private thoughts. The summit was supposed to be a very quiet event, but maybe Princess Anne realized that the royal family had no future if things kept going the way they were. She must have thought it was the perfect time for them to sit down straight with the most talented Queen England has ever seen. Will it change the structure of the monarchy and set them all straight? Only time will tell. From Princess Anne's point of view, this all sounds pretty good, but there is a problem. The reason for all of this is that some people think Princess Anne's anger toward Camilla might be driving her to do these things. What is this anger? Surprisingly, it's not just the fact that Queen Camilla seduced her brother King Charles and they had an affair that led to him divorcing Princess Diana. It's also the fact that Princess Anne dated Camilla's ex-husband Andrew Parker in the late 1970s, but later in. Andrew married Camilla in 1973. They later divorced but stayed close friends, and maybe Andrew's current actions are based on these lingering feelings of love. This is just an argument from one side of the population. The other side thinks it's all silly because they all grew up and by the time Camilla married Charles in 2005. Anne was already a respected member of the royal family who did all her duties perfectly and was one of the late Queen Mother's favorites. Some people think that Anne changed and became more professional, but Anne was acting very suspiciously, and on the day of the wedding she chose to ignore and avoid her new sister-in-law. So which group of people is right? We'll tell you right now which group of people is right. Princess Anne doesn't like the Queen's Camilla. It was clear when Anne confronted Camilla at a private dinner and told her, "You're not the..." People might not think much of Anne's statement, but to them it was a declaration of war because she made Camilla realize that she is not her mother's successor. She is just second in line to be queen, and she will never reach the heights of her mother. Princess Anne is known as the rebel of the royal family, and if someone so senior doesn't recognize Camilla as the official queen, it means that a large part of the monarchy doesn't support Camilla. Anne made her feelings clear when she said in an interview that Camilla will never be a real queen. This shocked Camilla to her core, but Camilla can't do anything about it because Anne is a real royal and Camilla is not. The main thing that makes these two women fight is that Anne thinks Camilla will never be fully loved by the British people, and a lot of other royals feel the same way. What happened at the Bombshell summit and what was in Catherine's will? In short, Queen Elizabeth wanted Catherine to take over her role. The Queen of England trusted Catherine so much that she wanted the Princess of Wales to act in her place. It's not like she wanted Catherine to become queen or anything for now. At least the late Queen wanted Catherine to be the family stabilizer like she was in her younger years. This showed how much Queen Elizabeth trusted Catherine. how disappointed she was in how unstable the monarchy was, especially during King Charles's reign. The main problem is that Camilla's position in the British royal family has always been unstable. Her title as queen is only tied to her marriage to Charles and not to her birthright, which is a very important thing in royalty. Camilla has done her best to improve her public image by doing charity work on issues like domestic violence and literacy, but the nightmares won't go away. No matter how hard she tries, she needs to accept that she ended the beautiful relationship between Diana and Charles. Only then will she be able to get rid of the label of the other woman in that affair. This is the only way she will be able to make the public accept her. But the royal family is a different story. The tension between Princess Anne and Camilla will never be solved this way, because Anne is very respectful of the royal tradition she has been taught. There's a snowball's chance in hell that someone like her will ever accept Camilla in the royal hierarchy. In a way, these things are important for Camilla because they remind her that some family members still don't welcome her and still see her as an outsider, which pushes her to do better and win their approval. It would have been easy for Camilla if she had stuck to trying to improve her image by being positive and honest, but she took a shortcut that hurt her. Right away, she tried to use Prince Harry to improve her image, but Prince Harry quickly wrote in his autobiography that she was using him to improve her public image. This went viral and people started to hate her again because she was trying to downplay her royal duties. On the other hand, Princess Catherine is a modern success story in the royal family. Born Catherine Middleton on January 9, 1982, in Reading, England, she is like an odd job within the family. As the only member of the royal family to have grown up in a middle-class family, Catherine learned the values of honesty and humility from her parents, Michael and Carol. Catherine's parents, Michael and Carol, were successful in their business selling party pieces, which gave Catherine and her family a good life. Catherine was good at school and sports, which is why she went to prestigious schools like Melbourne College, and later she became a princess. Studied art history at Scotland's St Andrews University. It was there in 2001 that she finally met the man of her dreams, her Prince Charming, Prince William. It was the perfect place for them to fall in love, and it made for a great backstory. But their love story wasn't perfect. They had a lot of problems that caused them to break up in 2004. After some time, they realized there was no one better than each other, so in November 2010, they got engaged. They got married in a big ceremony at Westminster Abbey on April 29, 2011. She was then made Duchess of Cambridge, and it didn't take long for her to become the most popular British royal. She had a natural charm, and she fought for causes like mental health, children's rights, early childhood development, and addiction. She was so good that by 2021 she had already started the Center for Early Childhood, which showed everyone how dedicated she was to long-term goals. She used everything she had, including the help of people like Prince William and Prince Harry. By doing this, she was able to get rid of most of the negative ideas people had about mental health and even bring attention to how important it was to break these ideas down. What's amazing is that someone as new to the royal family as she was, she knew that the future of England depended on young people, so she wanted to build a strong foundation for the people look up to her as a superwoman because of how well she handles her royal duties, her responsibilities as a wife, and her responsibilities as a mother. She is the proud mother of 3 children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louise. She does such a great job of balancing everything that her parenting skills should be taught in schools. She also never forgets to make public appearances where she interacts with children, and this warm and trustworthy aura makes her the perfect candidate to be the next queen. The latest test results showed that she had cancer. This made things worse for her because it was the first time she saw how the public stress made her react. She quickly changed her mind and said she wanted to talk about it openly so that people outside the royal family would know there was nothing to be afraid of. After surgery, Catherine chose to stay out of the spotlight and focus on her recovery, but she was quick to return to public life when she went to the As she marched in the color ceremony in June 2024, she received an overwhelming amount of support. In September, her treatment was finally over, and she even shared an emotional video in which she reassured everyone. It was also the people's first chance to see her personal side, and seeing her in a tender moment with her children made them feel sorry for her and realize that this was the queen they wanted. At the Bombshell Summit in the Well, which was announced by Anne, Catherine was sent a message that made a lot of people, especially the current queen consort, very nervous. Unfortunately, not everyone is as lucky and dedicated as Catherine. Camilla, for example, is hated by everyone, but the biggest mistake she made was getting close to Catherine. She mistrusted Catherine because of her background, thinking that she might hurt her public image. The truth is that Camilla was deeply insecure, and the late queen saw how selfish and childish she was. Catherine, on the other hand, had a lot of potential and a vision for the royal family that was similar to that of the late Queen. She wanted the monarchy to be more active and time-bound instead of boring, and she loved how Catherine was always coming up with new ways to make the royal family more effective. So what does this mean for Camilla's future? Will she keep being grumpy and jealous of Catherine, or will she change? Will she finally say sorry for everything she did wrong toward Catherine, like not letting Catherine's family attend the coronation ceremony and only letting a few people from Catherine's side participate, even though all of Catherine's family was invited? What will happen now? Who will be crowned queen today or tomorrow?